Hey. When I tell you I've been waiting for a clip all day long. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Hey. How are you? Hi, everybody. Did I just call Instagram? How long did I call it?
Oh, Mallorie.
No, it doesn't say it. Hi, everybody. Thank you, Connie. I'm sure I'll get a lot of hate for listening to the song. I just don't care. It's kind of mildly appropriate based on the clip I got. Won't trust 'cause a hoe won't trust me. Hi. Alexa, stop. Oh, damn, that's a good song. Smashly had a guest up in her box because, last night, so I figured we'd play it.
I'm very blunt. That's why I try to be a silent watcher, because there's so many times I want to type things at people and get in but I don't, because I don't. I mean, I could care less if I get doxxed. There's nothing to hurt me, but I just try to keep my cool, because I don't want you and Holly Mae and everybody else to say, gosh, this bitch, you know. So I just, not that I would say something to y'all, just say something, you know, in general. But I am going to do what I said last night. I'm going to find that person and I'm going to start flirting, and we're going to see if that person would even think about stepping out on her, because she just says he won't.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I wish
that
you
person.
the best of luck.
How's she gonna find me?
Mallory. When she was saying her man won't step out on her.
Why would you want to be the other woman?
Good point.
And openly brag about it before you do it.
Actually,
Number one.
really at the point where I'm like.
Number two, he likes the Steelers. He watches pretty much anything Pittsburgh-based sports-wise. Hockey, football, baseball. You might try talking up all of those teams, because I talk shit on them all the time and remind him that the Pirates have some of the worst stats in the league. And then D&D, in one of his things, he is a psycho bunny, I think. Is that rabbit?
What?
Are you a rabbit? A psycho? What are you? I don't know. He's a rabbit. Okay, just talk about his D&D character. Ask him about that. He can talk your fucking ear off for like 5 million hours. Okay, honey? But also have fun talking to yourself, because the fact that you literally think that you're good enough to talk to him and get a response and get him to like step out on me when you're fucking low enough and shitty enough to come on a live and brag about it openly before you ever even try to do it, just completely exposing yourself in that matter and showing that for some reason you would want to be the other woman out of spite, tells me that he's not going to be interested in you no matter what. I mean, just a thing. I think her name's Jessica. But I'll play the clip again. This was in Smash's
I'm
live
very
last
blunt.
night.
That's why I try to be a silent watcher because there's so many times I want to type things at people and get in but I don't because I don't. I mean, I could care less if I get dogs. There's nothing to hurt me, but I just try to keep my cool because I don't want you and Holly Mae and everybody else to say, "Gosh, she's a bitch," you know. So I just not that I would say something to y'all, just say something, you know, in general. But I am going to do what I said last night. I'm going to find that person and I'm going to start flirting, and we're going to see if that person would even think about stepping out on her because she just says he won't.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I wish you the best of luck.
Mallory. When she was saying her man won't step out on her.
At this point, I'm actually quite literally at the point where I'm like, y'all do what you do.
I'm very blunt. That's why I try to be a silent watcher because.
Can you imagine how out of touch with reality you have to be to think that it would be funny to attempt to flirt with someone's man just to be like, boom, got him to cheat on you? Like, even just saying you're gonna do it, like the fact that crossed her mind, that because someone said something and I said, it's fine, like, he doesn't cheat on me, I'm not stupid. The fact that I said that makes you want to get him to cheat on me is weird. Right? Like, I don't know. I'm confused. I thought it was funny that Smash said she's at the point to just saying, do what you're gonna do. And this was after the way they treated Joyce last night, too, by the way. This is how they rounded out the live, from my understanding. So after they shit on Joyce, they decided that, you know, it was appropriate to talk about trying to get someone's man to step out on them. Because they think it's a game, and they think it's funny. They want to mess with people's relationships. Like, this is...
Right, so Smash, you don't like when people go real life on you, right? But yet you just platformed a woman who claimed she was a silent watcher that she was going to go real life on Mallory and her family.
Funny, Malibu was in the box, and she's a silent watcher, too.
Right. But then in the same live, right, Malibu, you said that Joyce threatened y'all with a man.
Oh,
But
Jesus.
in Smash, you platformed a silent watcher who was threatening to go real life on Mallory. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I was getting all the points there.
It is astoundingly wild to me, the things that, like, Smashly expects other people to be in charge of, but, like, the things you hear on her platform, like, how are you going to hear somebody say, that, like, even as a fucking joke, like, they want to try to get somebody's man to step out on them? Like, okay, weird-ass energy.
But
try being a girl girl.
It really is weird-ass energy because the way that Joyce said that, I didn't interpret that as a threat. I took that as, like, see what the karma's coming of the consequences of what you said.
Yeah.
Not threatening a man, but when someone actually does threaten to go real life.
Well, and Joyce got cut off before she could even finish, like, her statement. And it's astounding to me because, like, I don't know. I don't even understand. It would never cross my mind to go to some random ass woman's significant other on the internet and attempt to get them to cheat on them so I can come to the app and be like, ha ha, she was wrong.
But if someone's going to step out on their marriage or their relationship with somebody, they don't need you coming into their inboxes and doing it. They're probably already doing it to them.
Exactly.
It's wild. It's wild. What man would I threaten another woman with? Like, that's what I want to know. I would never threaten another woman with a man, for starters. Two, I met my ancestors with yes, karma, and yes, I meant all of the other indigenous people that were going to hear that, what she had said. It wasn't a physical threat. I'm not some fucking hoodlum that's going out and putting hits out on people or fucking trying to. I'm 50 fucking 4 years old. I don't handle things with my hands. I handle things with lawyers.
Well, see,
So let's just be clear on that.
I feel like you were trying to be painted the same way the other situation, like the severity of it. I think
Mm-hmm.
that was being trying to be painted the same severity of the other situations that have been analogies or hypotheticals or whatever the fuck you want to call them. But it definitely wasn't that at all.
They wanted
I
to
have
deflect.
never threatened anybody on any platform ever with physical harm. That's not who I am. I can't even stand watching UFC fights. I don't like violence. It's not who I am. And they can paint whatever picture they want about me. I don't give a shit anymore at this point. Like I really don't. Because no matter what, they're going to see things the way they want to see it. And I can't change their opinion. All I was trying to say is please educate yourself on that word. That's it. Did Cartel get the shit reamed out of her when she was trying to tell people to unpack and listen to the words that they said that were harmful to black people? No. They all listened to her and said, Queen of all trades did a whole live and tried to educate people on things that are and are not acceptable to say and to do and to unpack. That's all I was asking.
Well, to be honest, they literally were trying to get you to trip up. Like
Oh, I
I
know they were. And Smashley with her gaslighting was absolutely the most disgusting shit I have ever seen and been part of in my life. I am disgusted that I ever considered her a friend because to me, you wouldn't even do that to your worst fucking enemy. I would
Yeah,
never wish any of
100%.
that on them.
To me, what I thought was fucked up was the fact that was it Malibu who dropped you out of the box?
Yeah, they kept
Yeah.
dropping me.
That the fact that you got dropped out of the box in the middle of you speaking, and then on top of that, the condescending, rude behavior Malibu was displaying after the fact. Like you couldn't have a conversation because one, she doesn't unmute to talk because she can't speak for herself. But on top of that, too, even if you were to get her to talk, it's condescending banter. It's
She
the
called me a
classic
fucking bitch for making a joke
classic
about the
case of
Wu-Tang Clan.
D&D.
well, I mean, she's gonna pretend Wu Tang calls her like hoo.
Like there's 9 members in that, and it sure as fuck isn't Method Man. I can promise you that. Like there's so many individuals that are in that group, and I found it hilarious. I'm not even gonna lie.
But also, I
And
think
she's clearly sensitive about that too.
no. See, I think she's very sensitive about very materialistic things
She's a very
versus
materialistic person.
yes, versus the
Huh?
like because this situation could have gone entirely different. You could have
Yes.
acknowledged the fact that okay, you fucked up what you said, but you could also learn from it too. You don't have to be so defensive and deflective of the situation.
Has anybody noticed though? So I feel like this point needs to be made. When the CP thing happened and Malibu ran away, it was all, I have this really important job and I can't be in the drama. And if my job finds out, blah, 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 blah. The other day, she was accusing me of giving out her information, which tells me someone out there has her information and either lied to her or she decided to try to pin it on me.
No,
But
I think she's just trying to pin it on you.
at this point she has to know, like, somebody's probably got her information, so why are you coming on here and acting this way if like your job was such a concern? And to act that way with the people who literally wanted to get you on a registry is wild behavior. And also, for her to sit in Bree's live today and act as if I'm accusing her of all these things, bitch, every time lately that I've gotten in a box and Smashleys or you've talked about me, the shit you have said, you tried to convince people that I was passing their info around. And when someone
Yeah.
said what in the comments, you said, I've been trying to warn you, Dora. Like, warn her about what and where? Because you haven't been saying it on live. And then also, she's tried to call me out twice. One of the times failed miserably, so she tried to rage bait the next night. And then she at one point said, it's fine, Smash. She can still come in here, I guess.
Yeah, I don't.
Weird ass
I believe. I agree with you. Positive vibes forever. I don't think she does either.
I think she's like, I don't know. At this point, like, it wouldn't fucking surprise me anymore if she's like a goddamn sneaky account running around here starting all the fucking drama.
Oh, absolutely, she
Positive.
is.
Positive does bring up a good point because wasn't it back in the petty days? She wasn't available because she was at work. She couldn't
Mm-hmm.
be in live. She couldn't be in chats because I do vividly remember there being a time. I don't remember the circumstances of the situation, but she was being called to a box in Petty's live,
Yeah.
and she had to come in on her break. And to be honest, the break was about 30 minutes, so it did pan out. But recently, Malibu, I have seen you a lot of places during the day in lives and in chats. So it does raise a good point.
She's been in a lot more drama lately, and she's been more open about it too. And to be honest, like, it almost seems as if when Smash's platform starts to get a little dry because there's not a bunch going on, she does something that sparks a reaction that people can then talk about, and that's kind of a circle back to Smash. Because if you notice, a lot of us haven't even been paying attention to her the last week.
No, I haven't. I haven't watched her since the last time I went in there. And Feral Trash, fucking Panda, whatever the fuck her name is, and Miss Unknown came at me Miss Unknown came at me for mentioning the fact that I hope Florida Man, like for what I said about Florida Man and Rutina. Okay, now I said that because that woman has fucking doxed me. And she put my full government fucking name out here, and it's never been on any platform. My full government name, not just my first name, my first and last name. So I'm entitled to my feelings about what I feel about her. And I didn't mean he's going to come after her physically. I meant drag her ass. Like, drag her.
I
Fucking
wouldn't
right.
even
The amount of
explain it.
shit.
I wouldn't even explain it because
Well,
I'm just
but
there.
you know what? That's just who I am, Mallory. Like,
I know.
whether people like it or not, I'm always gonna fucking say how I feel, and that's why I get so mad is because like when I feel like I can't say something, that's where I get irritated. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I get it
and
because I'm the same way, but one thing I've learned about this app and kind of what I was saying last night is sometimes you have to let something play out a little bit before going into it because like I said, I wanted to see if Smashley even addressed it last night.
but to me though,
Because
Mallory, it's not a case of TikTok. I don't give a fuck if
well,
that makes
but
sense. I don't
it's not
care how
about TikTok.
Smashly's gonna play out.
It's literally about like the hypocrisy of things.
I get that.
And I'm tired of hearing people say all people do is attack each other and nobody ever like does this or that. And so I wanted to see how she'd handle it. I really
And
did.
I did get hot. I did get heated. Absolutely,
No,
I did. But
and
the gaslighting was fucking outrageous. And I could have been anybody else and I wouldn't have been treated that way.
Well, Joyce,
Absolutely not.
Joyce, I have to agree with Mallory. And unfortunately, I've had to learn this as well. Like Jesse can tell you, there have been some situations over the course of the year where you kind of just like you want to be reactive, but at the same time, find out how it plays out. Because honestly, as upset or something as you are, it reacting to it may not. Or I'm sorry, not reacting to it may create a different it may show people who other people truly are versus you reacting to it. If that makes
But
sense.
They
sometimes
made
when you're
you.
so mad,
They
I
made you the
can't just
crazy
sit on
person.
shit.
Yeah, but
Pardon?
they made you the crazy person last
I
night.
don't give a fuck, to be honest. They can think I'm crazy. Because guess what, bitches? I am, and I do have the paperwork to
But
prove it.
Joyce, don't say
Like,
that because literally, like the thing is like sometimes when you let something play out, even when you're angry, even when you want to say something, when you let it play out and you can come back the next day even and just like point out, well, we're going to have this conversation and we gave Smash the opportunity to handle it and she didn't. You can have the productive conversation, but you can also show that other people aren't willing to take accountability for themselves and recognize when they've done wrong. And instead of going up there and having them turn it around on you, because like that did
oh, I
frustrate
knew
them.
that that's what they were going to do. I'm not an idiot.
But
I
that's
knew
the
what I was
thing. Like
walking into.
they've done this to you several times now, where they.
Let them know, Mallory, because
But
the
I
friends
don't.
that are my friends, but I get that you don't want to see me look a certain way, and I get you're protective, but at the same time, I'm not the type of person to just fucking sit there. I can't. I
I'm just
physically
saying that
can't.
they're doing this because they know they're going to get a reaction from you.
Well, they got it, like I told you last
But
night.
they're
I guess they
manipulating
got what they
you.
wanted.
I do want you to like realize that because when they're doing this, they're trying to use you, and that's part of it. Is like I've gotten a lot of messages of stuff that Smash has allegedly said about me in the last week, and I haven't watched anything because I don't give a fuck. Like, and I think like sometimes they do it because they know they're going to get something out of you, and they can turn you into content, and that's what really upsets a lot of us is they're doing it to manipulate you and hurt your feelings so that they can laugh at it.
And I think
Well,
too, I
they
think
can
what
laugh
she's
at it
trying,
all they want. It just proves it just proves who they are.
but I think Mallory, I think, or no, I'm sorry, Joyce, I think where
It's
what
okay.
Mallory's trying to say is like, not in a sense, more so protect your peace. Like
Right.
it.
Well, and
We
that's what I was
understand
doing
you're
last
upset
night
about
was
it,
I
but
would have went crazy without
Well,
saying something
but
last
here's
night.
the thing is sometimes in those moments I'll call like you or Mama or Aries and I'll talk about it because also when you get up in a box sometimes you get really flustered, especially when it's like reactive. And so what I
Mm-hmm.
had hoped last night, what I explained was like we would have the conversation, but we would all be able to step outside of that initial emotion so that it could be more educational and more awareness and not just like that initial emotional reaction. Because what I'm learning is that initial emotional reaction is what people love because they take one little word that you slip up on or something like that because you're so frustrated and you're so emotional and you're stumbling over your words or you say something in a way it didn't mean to come out, and that's what turns into like World War III on this app.
It wouldn't have mattered what I had said. They were still going to do to me what they did.
And
It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't fucking matter whether I said it today, last night, at least last night, I got my fucking feelings out and I actually slept really good. If I
good,
hadn't, I would have been up all fucking night stewing on it.
but I think
So I
you
know no one supported me going over there. And honestly, I had to do what I had to do for myself.
I
Not
think
for this fucking app, not for them, but for myself, if that makes sense.
I think though what you're not realizing is in the past when they've done this, they get you wrapped up in stuff. So when
But
when you did the 4 hour live and everybody was begging you to get out
but
of
I was
the.
there because I wanted to be
But
there.
the next
Again.
day, they kept reeling you in, and then you got in Voices Box, and then it was all about how you were
Mm-hmm.
in Voices Child, and all of
Well,
that stuff. And they have fun doing this, and like what we're trying to say is like you apologized to them last night because
yeah, I did.
you shouldn't have apologized.
Well, I did because I did come in hot. And I can be grown up enough to say, okay, I did come in hot. But it
You
was the
don't owe them an
gaslighting that
apology
got
for
me
that though.
going.
They treated you like absolute shit. You're allowed to come in that way. I'm sorry. You've got to
Right.
stop apologizing to them, because that's the other thing, is the second you apologize, they take it as an, oh, we can say Joyce did something bad and so we don't have to focus on what we did.
But Mallory, they can say whatever they want. That's the thing. Like, look at last year. You were very reactive to stuff,
I
and I'm not
was,
just
and it
saying it.
made my life
It
a living
took you a
hell.
while. Exactly. It took you a while to get there, right? We
But that's
all
what I'm
learn and
saying.
do things differently.
But that's what
But
I'm
because
saying is, I want you to understand. I know where it puts you. I do. I know where you get with that. And I know how much it'll fucking eat at you, because every time you go back to them, they just make it worse. And they're not looking for a resolution. They're not looking to listen to you. And one thing I learned is like having to question, like, what impact did I have, like expressing my feelings on Smash's platform versus talking with people behind the scenes and being able to come on here and voice my feelings in, you know, a way where it was safe and it was something that I could voice without all of the emotion being wrapped up in it. And that's when I started to recognize that like people listened and people cared. And it wasn't about the drama, it wasn't about gaslighting, it wasn't trying to deflect, it was a different way of getting people to listen, if that makes sense. Because last night, like, and this is what sucks, is watching them gaslight the fuck out of you, because at the end of the day, it's like nothing was gained other than them shitting on you. And
but that's how you take it, Mallory. I know a lot of people took it a lot differently, right? Like, I know that it's going to reach a lot of people. I know that. And if I have to look like to them a joke or shit, it's worth it to me. Because then at least maybe next time they're going to fucking think,
they're
gee,
not.
maybe I shouldn't have said something so
They're not,
offensive to
because the
people.
people you reached were
But who
the
knows?
people who believed you, and the people who are sitting there mocking you aren't going to listen because Smash and Malibu are attacking you. And that's kind of where I've learned, if you can come off it, you can have a conversation and you're not so like reactive in things, people will sometimes listen to you a little bit more, and hear you, because you're at a different level, if that makes sense.
You're still
But
entitled
what?
to your like you're still entitled to your opinion or
Yeah.
your feelings and everything. But and I think too, I think you're trying to understand it, but I think there's a bit of disconnect because Joyce, you did acknowledge the fact that Mallory was reactive last year and how versus how she is now. And I think that, and it takes time too. Like it's the person, because I've had to learn the reactive thing too.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes it just happens, you react. Sometimes you're not going to be perfect, but um you have, I think you have more peace with it. And she's still saying, yes, you can be mad about the topic or the situation, but come to a back end conversation first, and with the people you can trust, and have an actual conversation where it's going to be meaningful. Then when you're ready, come back to the app and express those feelings without there being the drama.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I feel like that's ultimately what you want as a goal, but they're just going to use
No,
your
actually,
content.
to be honest, I wanted them to fucking. Anyways, it's okay.
Well, I get what you're saying. My thing is, though, is like, I think that you feel you accomplished something because the people who heard you are the people who already hear you. And it's really fucking hard for us to watch them treat you that way. Like, I will say that. But also, it's the invalidation of your feelings, and I don't think you always see it happening in real time. But we can sit there and we can hear them just actively break you down and get you to start questioning your own voice.
No, that's not what happened last night at all. Actually, like I said, I fucking felt wonderful after that live. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, fuck, I don't give a fuck what those people think. Because you know why? They don't give a fuck what I think. So I don't care. The reason why I went up there is because I wanted people to know what she fucking said. I wasn't going to sit back and let her, especially when it comes to something like race. Like that is,
You
anyways,
knew what she
it's
said,
not
though.
something
That's
that
the
you can
problem.
just sit back and say, oh, well, I'll just fucking wait till tomorrow. That's not who I am.
In
It's
my
never who I
opinion,
am.
I don't think it would have just gotten swept under the rug. It was heard. A lot of people heard it, and a lot of people were talking about it. So, but I understand what you're saying as
I
well.
do too.
I could have got up there and agreed with them and they would still call me fucking crazy. Do you get what I'm saying? It wouldn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter. They don't like me, period. And I don't give a fuck. Their opinion means nothing to me
You say
in
that,
that
but you get
sense.
up in the box and you try to reason with them, and
Well, yeah, because that's the kind of person I am,
but they
right?
don't
I
possess
can't
that
change who I
energy
am for
from
these
you.
fucking people.
Like that was
And
the
I
thing. Is
refuse to
like
change.
I don't know. I don't think anybody's asking you to change
no,
towards them. No, Ch- always change for yourself. Never anybody else.
no.
It's something that I am very passionate about. And I'm not a flip floppy kind of fucking person. I'm always going to stand on what I say. I'm never going to lie about what I've said. And that's just who I am. I'm
I
just,
think I think what I'm trying to say is when you got up there, everybody knew they weren't going to listen to you. Your words
Mhm.
weren't going to matter to them. You were really emotional, and it gets really frustrating when Smash gaslights. And like, you can be mad at me for saying that I think that Smash needed to be able to, like, we needed to see how Smash handled this, but for the last year all it has been is reactive situations. And I wanted to
why would
see
someone, marshmallows, that's nice.
I wanted to see how Smashley would handle it, because in my opinion it speaks a lot to what she's willing to sacrifice for someone like Malibu, because she sat in there the other day and she played a clip and she called me a fucking white savior. I had a reason for not wanting to talk about it last night, and part of it was is because some of the things that Smash has said lately have been an attempt to make it sound as if I am this kind of person that comes on here and pretends I'm a savior of other nationalities or ethnicities or other things like that. And so for me, I wanted to see how Smash would handle it so that when I came on tomorrow, like I could say, we need to have a conversation about it. We need to be able to hear from people who are affected by it, but also recognize that when Smashley was given an opportunity to be able to handle this situation in a calm and rational way, she chose to be a little bitch about it and pretend that nothing wrong ever happened. And that's kind of where I was last night. It wasn't trying to like silence anybody. It wasn't trying to do any of that. I just think it's at the point where as long as people keep snapping back at Smash, all she's doing is responding in that monotone voice where she has no fucking emotions, and the people who are listening to her aren't recognizing it. They're not listening to anything that anybody's saying because
Well,
for some
hmm
reason Smash is just allowed to shit on everybody.
but
And
guess what it showed last night? How many of them are fucking racist? And they always say, silence is compliance. Well, guess what, bitches? All 350 fucking people in there who were showing their ass showed their fucking racist ass. And I hope they can look at themselves in the mirror and say, I'm a good person. Because you know what? You're not a fucking good person. That's just the way I see it. You do things for your like you do things the way you do it, and I understand that, Mallory, but I'm not like that. I'm a very reactive person. Whether they want to see me fucking pop off or not, it's the way it's my feelings. I can't stuff my feelings down and then
but
for the whole night
that's why
I
I feel
just
like if you approach somebody behind the scenes and you talk about it, like get it out and then come back and have the conversation like with people who matter. because I know you feel that like it looked that way, but to the 300 fucking people that watch Smash and support everything that she does and says, all it came off as was a fucking game last night. And that's what fucking hurts a lot of us, is watching them
Well,
manipulate you like that, and knowing that your emotional response mattered and that you had valid feelings in it, and all they did was sit there and shit on you. And I used to explain it like this. Inevitably, when there's a situation, you have one side whose mind's already made up. You're not going to change their mind. You have the other side whose mind's made up, and you're not going to change their mind. But you also have people in the center who, if the situation is right and they're listening, you can get to them in a different way. And when the emotions are high like that, like, it's not about invalidating your feelings, it's about making sure that your voice is amplified and they're not manipulating you into this like situation where they're mocking you the whole time, because you deserve to have your feelings heard. And what I'm trying to say is, the way that you did it last night with them, they just mocked it. And I feel as if like your voice should have been heard a lot louder, and I feel like you should be able to come up and express yourself, but they got you to apologize to them.
they didn't. That was me apologizing.
You apologize to them.
Yeah, they didn't make me apologize. I apologized because I'm grown enough to say, okay, maybe, and I did come in hot.
But you're allowed to come in
Absolutely.
hot because your feelings were hurt. Just like
That's my
Smash has
point.
come in hot before and things like that. But I don't know. I think like a lot of us just get hurt watching you get shit on.
No, I
And
understand that, and I appreciate everybody. I really do. It's just a really touchy subject. And it is what it is. You know, they're all saying, oh, she's going to be crying about it. No, I'm not. I'm actually not crying about it because when I was talking about it and getting emotional last night, yeah, because of the amount of hurt that people have suffered here. They don't know how many Indigenous women are found in fucking dumps. Dumps. How many women have been that Robert and dozens of Indigenous. Um, some of them were not, but they either were um, had problems with alcohol or drugs or what have you. Um, they don't understand. Like, that man fed them to his pigs, and nobody fucking noticed them missing. Nobody knows how many residential schools have been discovered and how many children's bones they have fucking dug up or had to mark because they don't want to disrupt them. And every day they're finding more unmarked graves. Every day. And it's sad. And that's why if I had to get up there and make them think that and make fun of me and laugh at me, I don't care because I'm standing up for my fucking people. Whether that means that I take a shitting on, I would. I would take that again and again and again. If one person walked away thinking, Jesus, she's right, I don't care if the other 356 fucking people think I'm an idiot or I'm crazy. Does that make sense to you guys?
No, absolutely. And look, I think you are very courageous in taking the box that you did. I see your point of view too.
Right.
I think it's good that you have that voice to speak up for something that's so meaningful to you.
No, it's not talked about on the news. You're right, Karma. And that's my whole point is that if they would just do the research and and look it up. Do a fucking Google search. They would find out in 2 minutes why it was so offensive
So here's
and
my
why it
thing.
is
I think
offensive to some.
honest to God, like I'm just gonna be honest. I think that getting up and Smash's box is a waste of time because none of the people over there are going to listen to you and actually do the research. I think the productive thing to do is host lives where people are educated about it. Because you're going to actually reach people who want to educate themselves about it versus sit there and just make fun of you.
Well, they can make fun of me all they want. I'm used to it.
But you shouldn't
It's
be.
fine.
You should not tolerate that disrespect. You should not feel as if you have to go in a space like that to defend what you feel and who you are when all they're going to do is turn it into their entertainment. You deserve a space, you deserve a voice, you deserve to have your feelings heard, which is kind of like I think the point that I'm trying to make is that you deserve to do it in a productive way where people are listening to you and not just shitting on you in the boxes and the comments. Because
Right.
like no matter what, I can tell you guys like that, things didn't bother me last year, but they did. Like that. Mama knows that. Aries knows
Yeah.
that. As much as we say it's okay, it doesn't bother me. Like it does build up and you reach a point where you feel like people aren't listening to you and they don't give a shit. And I think that you especially deserve to like you're literally like I will say it forever. You're one of the nicest fucking people in the world. And
Hmm.
I think that people see that and they think it's okay to use you. And I don't like that. And there are a lot of us who hate watching that happen, just like that 4 hour live where you constantly you kept your cool, you were level headed with them, and all they did at the end of the day was post videos and say shit, and then a month later you're in the hospital. And I think that you deserve to find a way to speak your truth where you're respected and not go into spaces where they're just going to actively shit on you.
But that's too safe. You know what I'm saying? Like, how they're not going to listen to it anyways, whether or not I'm there or I'm here or wherever I am. If they don't want to hear it, they're not going to fucking hear it. And I get that everybody's worried about my health, but I wouldn't have gotten up there. I checked my blood pressure numerous times throughout it, and I was fine. I think that that's another thing they were teasing me about. Like, what the fuck? Who teases people about their health?
I think that's kind of my point, though, is when they were
But
doing
that's what
that.
I mean. It wouldn't have mattered what I said.
And
They don't like me.
I think that's kind of like the point some of us like are trying to kind of make or like feel is that they're not going to listen to you, and you deserve to voice your opinion and be able to have productive conversations. So I'm sorry if not giving you a box last night made you feel a type of way. It was not my intent. I just felt as if this was a really good situation to see if Smashley did the right thing or not. Because
But she sees it as you playing a game.
no,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not playing a game. Like I had fully planned to come on here tonight and have like a really good conversation about this, and wanted you to come up and share your thoughts and your feelings and all of that stuff. Smash is the one playing a game, honestly. Like, and that's kind of why I am where I am with her, and that I don't watch her, I don't listen to her. And I know you wanted me to stream her last night, and you asked me, but it's just like that's what she wants. She wants to use people to get to other people too. And I think that when she treats you the way she does, she expects other people to get up in the box and defend you. And when we don't defend you, we
No,
get.
I didn't want anybody up there.
But that's the
I
thing though, is they will still say that people are shitty friends to you because they didn't get up in a box and just like defend you.
I don't
But
need people to get up and defend me because then they would say, "Oh, look at she can't." Like, look what they used to say about me and Rizzo all the time.
yeah,
They would say, "Oh,
it's a no-win
sorry."
situation.
They would say, "Oh, Joyce." Joyce can't say anything without Rissa being there, or Joyce can't say anything without Mallory there. I don't need anybody to back me up like fucking Malibu does. She can't stand on her own, and I can. How many other fucking people are gonna go into a live and no, I knew I was gonna get my ass chewed up, Mallory. I knew it. They're not gonna say, "Oh, you're right, Joyce." That's never gonna be a case. I wanted to prove what kind of fucking people they are, and I did. That's the way I see it, and they see it the way they want to see it, that I look crazy in whatever fucking way. Well, that's on them, right?
Yeah, Casey. People whose minds are made up already aren't going to want to be educated. I just think I think
Oh, this
they
freaking cold.
I honest to God, I think it was a whole thing. They just wanted to play people. And I think it's fucking disgusting because I think that Malibu knows what she did, and I think that they were intentionally obtuse about it. And I just genuinely think like going into their spaces anymore, even for me, isn't worth it because they don't listen, they don't hear. All
Oh,
they do is just try to twist things so they can get their clip for
yeah.
the next big thing, and
Mm-hmm.
it needs to
Well, I
be
gave it to them.
it needs to
Should
be
I ask
figured
her for
out.
part of the money? Should I ask her for part of the funds she gets?
Right?
Ah,
That's
I'm
the other thing
joking.
too, is that's why I hate going on her platform anymore, because she literally I used to get in Smash's box and joke and say I'm just here to make you the $25. Like, she's all
Well,
about the money and the views now.
remember what she said when those fucking people were trying to say
I'll be
that
up in a
about
second.
Malibu with the CP, that nobody was there for her. Nobody, and she was surprised at the people who reached out to her, like Joyce and Mallory. Yeah, we were the only fucking people that checked on your fucking ass. And yet here you are back with the same people that try to put you and your fucking little bestie Malibu in fucking jail for CP. So there's that.
Does anybody remember? Okay, so do you remember the time where she was on live? Andy had pissed her off so bad she got online telling everybody that she wanted Andy's information because she was
Mm-hmm.
gonna put it all out there and all that shit. For
Yep.
me, I got in that box to reason with her and be like, this isn't you, this isn't who you are, this isn't what you do. And for me, that, like, I was that person in her inbox saying when Holly Mae and Ratina and them were coming at her, don't
Mm-hmm.
don't respond. Just don't respond. Like, I know it's hard. I told Smashley the same thing. When you respond, you give them the ammunition to come back and continue to try to manipulate you. And she actually did listen at times. And she said one time on a live, someone told me, I could do this and I could keep going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, or I could just find my peace and let it go. And she did. And for a while, it was really chill. But she's made the decision to be with the people who continue to fuel the fire so that they can get content and entertainment out of other people's pain. And I think that's
Mm-hmm.
why I feel as if we need to find a more conducive way for you to be able to like voice your feelings and your opinions and your insight, because I think last night was just a money making opportunity for her, and to sit there and basically feel as if she had all of these people backing her, and you deserved more than that. And you may have felt good in that moment, but I think you would feel infinitely better if people actually listened and respected you in that moment, because
None of them are ever going to, Mallory. That's
but,
my point.
but my
It
point.
wouldn't matter if I got up and said it today, tomorrow, the next day. None of those fucking people are going to listen to jack shit that I
But
have to
but
say.
that's my point. Instead of wasting your energy talking to people where it's going to fall on deaf ears, we should be having conversations about this in a way where people are listening to you. Because today, when I brought it up and you weren't in the room, I asked people, did you guys know that when SBG called Petty the N-word, he had been poking and poking and poking her, mocking indigenous culture? Nobody knew about it, Joyce. We talked about it. And I think
Yeah,
that
we
you're at
did
a
talk
point
about it.
where people want to hear you, people want to listen. People, I think, weren't listening a lot because they fucking hated my guts. So I think now it's about finding the right space where you are allowed to like have that voice and be heard rather than have to fight just to like get your feelings out because they're being invalidated and played in your face, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want to watch you be belittled because you have valid feelings. I want you to be able to come on here and express it and do it in a way where people are actually open to listening to you, because I think
Right.
that's where the difference comes in. And the
Can Riri come up and show a video quick
Yep.
of what Florida Man made?
Yep.
There you go, Riri. Oh, there she is.
I didn't want to show my face. Here we go. Ready,
We
guys?
can't. Oh, okay.
You're gonna find this hilarious. First of all, you're the only hot one of the avatars.
Oh,
So I found that pretty
goddamn.
freaking hilarious. But anyways,
Hold on, Polly. Polly.
Wound cane. Fuck you, you fucking bitch.
and then
That is
at the end, it's
hilarious.
you being like, "Oh, fuck you back." So I just want to
That's
show you
funny.
that. Oh, you can't really
Thank
hear it.
you.
Fuck. Okay. Well,
Not the
shit.
wound
Go to
cane,
Florida Man's
yeah.
page if you can't hear it. I just, you know.
Thank you, you little nightmare.
I wanted to show my mom because I thought it was funny as
It's
fuck.
funny.
I did not support that whole thing last night, but I thought that video was hilarious. The way he edited it. Oh my god, chef's kiss. Okay. Anyways, that's all I wanted to show you guys. My
Thanks.
phone's dying, so
Okay,
I'm
love
gonna
you.
go.
Bye-bye.
Bye, besties.
Bye. Gaming, so if you hear anybody screaming in the background, it's just him.
Are they being dickheads? Oh, okay. Sorry,
Or
we're doing
maybe.
a bonfire, so.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, he just made chili, so, and my phone died,
Oh.
so I'm trying to get an extension cord out here so I
You can
can.
use your Christmas lights like Megan did.
Oh my god, that's
That
fucking
shit used to
hilarious.
crack me right up, man.
Oh my
She's like,
god.
this is my extension cord TikTok. And she literally had Christmas lights, a string of Christmas lights.
I'm
And she
cracking
was
up.
plugging into it.
That's so fucking Megan.
Yo, it worked though.
I mean, it makes
I thought it was
sense,
pretty crafty of her.
right?
Myself. Yeah.
Margot, Charlie, don't be rude. Hey, Charlie, be respectful.
They're having fun.
But yeah, I definitely want to talk about it tonight because I think that
Okay.
it's a conversation we all need to have. And I want to do it in a way where it respects like your voice and others' voices of Indigenous people, because last night was disgusting. And
Well, it's really funny how many people turn on you that were your friend. And it was eye-opening because it weeded out a lot of fucking fake ass people that were just my friend on here because of whatever fucking reason for the moment, you
yeah.
know? But I mean,
Uh,
whatever.
House of Lies, it'll probably be after 8 p.m. Central. Definitely this week too. What I'm gonna do, I want to go through clips and find instances where Smash has been extremely insensitive. I know there's a time she told somebody to get off the app if Smash made them feel a type of way where they didn't want to be here anymore. I know that people told her she made them question their essay, and she told them, "Oh,
I
I'm
was one
sorry,
of
I
those
made
people.
you feel that way,"
Mm-hmm.
even though she wasn't sorry about what she had said. Um, and there's a lot of things. I think like one thing I want to do is go back through the CP stuff, because a lot of us supported Smash through that, even though when she
We
was
did.
coming on live after live, she was contradicting herself. And she would
Well,
say
and
something
then,
to defend Malibu, and then the next time she'd say, I never said that.
mm-hmm. Or the whole, oh, you can be in my live, just be on a sneaky. Yes, she did fucking say
Yes.
that to me. 1000
You
fucking percent, and I would say it. I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true.
she told me, thank you for coming in on a sneaky so I don't get heat.
Yeah,
She
she
told a
made
lot
some
of us
comments
to come in
that,
on sneakies.
yeah.
Hi, Polly.
Mm-hmm. She didn't tell me to create a sneaky. That part she never said to me. I had already had a sneaky that I hadn't really used much of before, which, I mean,
Makes you wonder who
it's
was on a
whatever.
sneaky when she was friends with everybody else.
Well, that's what I'm questioning because for her to get back so quick with everybody that just questioned and was will and did actually write a police officer about Malibu and the CP. I never thought ever that Malibu would ever do that. Like spread that. And I stood on that. And I still stand on it. I honestly don't think, and now that we know it wasn't, but I know she would never do something like that. Like, there's just certain things that just because I'm irritated with her doesn't mean I'm going to say, yes, she did. No, it's the same thing as Smashley last night, thinking that you're just mad at her because she never changed
That
her
is
mind
smart.
on your whatever. And it's like, no, girl, that's
Oh,
not why, but okay, keep saying that. Like,
nah.
it's whatever.
If that's what she thinks it is, like she's out of touch with
Mm-hmm.
reality, because
Well, she brought everything up that she could possibly bring up. Any and every single thing that you have ever done. And it wasn't even about you.
Polly.
It wasn't even about Smashley. And that's what I kept fucking trying to tell her. Let Malibu speak on her own. Let her speak for herself.
What?
And the first words out of her mouth was,
One.
you fucking bitch. All because I made a joke about the fucking Woontang. Like, really? That's what it took to make you mad?
Yeah.
Please. And then Smasher tried to say I was making fucking slick comments about her. I said, where? Show me one fucking comment where I have ever said anything about you on TikTok. Please, show it to me. Because I
I
have
think you might.
never fucking bashed Smashley on there. Ever.
Well, I think you might have said like a few things before not trusting her.
No, not even then. I didn't. Your wifey's cutting out lady.
Probably.
Oh, there, I just
Is
heard
it?
probably. I bet you Jerry is there
Are you
under
sitting
a
by the
sweet.
fire?
So they seem to have gotten more outraged over my comment last night about um
Because you notice how we went into
that's so
Friends
cute,
Live
Mallory.
that first time? Thank you.
Yeah,
So our little comments.
I love it. Uh, now I want to have a fire. Hmm. Aw, there's your
It's
puppy.
nice. It's a nice time outside.
Oh, it's hot in here.
There we go. I, point, I think everybody needs to recognize too. Some smash debtor intentionally just set up to try to get a response.
Who won it up? I didn't see anybody requesting
All right.
either.
I'm gonna get off.
Okay.
Hear me?
All
Hello,
right, Mel. Oh, okay. Are you leaving, did you say?
Joyce.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna get off here for now, and I'll
Okay.
be back later, and we'll definitely talk about all this, because I think we should have a conversation around it and educate people.
Okay, we'll see you guys later. Thank you, everybody, for all your support, and thank you for the gifts. I really appreciate
Love
you guys.
you.
Love you
Love you
too.
all very
Bye,
much.
guys.